You're listening to Amazing Radio. This is Amazing Afternoons. Delighted to say that Benjamin Francis Leftwich is on the line with me right now. Ben, it's a new record on the horizon. Not long until the new one comes out. Some Things Break on the 9th of February. We've got a couple of singles already as well. How does it feel to have a new album coming out?
Yeah, it feels good. It's always exciting, and I'm really proud of this album. We went in pretty hard on it, and I'm grateful for the songs that we got, and yeah, I'm looking forward for people to living with it.
Yeah. Where do we find yourself today? You've been all over the world making this record, but where you doing your press from today?
I'm in the Dirty Hit office. I'm in my label office. I like coming here, and I had a few things to catch up with my beautiful manager Mark and Amber about. So I thought I'd bed in here, and got here early, and had a little coffee and chill. And yeah, I'm here in a some kind of meeting room.
Yeah.
Lots of posters and stuff. So it's cool.
Is it cold there? It's been -3 where I am in the northeast of England overnight. Is it cold there?
Is it? Where are you in the northeast?
Sunderland.
Sunderland. Nice, man. I love the northeast. I miss it a lot. Yeah, it is cold. It's cold in London. It's very cold. But it was worse about a week ago. But I'm all right with one or two layers now. Obviously, my coat and a t-shirt, but it's not doubling up yet. So I'm all right. I'm surviving just.
Well done, well done. Let's talk about the record. And what we've heard so far, it's been a couple of years since your last one, as we've already touched upon. But you've been busy, haven't you? Because you've been making this record all over the place, and you've also been doing some co-writes as well. First of all, where was the record actually made and recorded then?
Yeah, the bulk of it was made with my brother Jimmy Hogarth in West Hampstead in London. He has just a beautiful studio there. He's a legendary record producer and a good friend. So yeah, I live in Seven Sisters, so I get the tube over to Highbury and Is, and then get the overground over to Hampstead and have a coffee, a little Lebanese bakery there, and then go in. And we kind of made, because we were co-writing so much, we'd do a week or two at a time, break, I'd do more writing, and then we'd go in for another week or two, and we kind of randomly got bits every now and then as well. And one song was recorded in Nashville with Mickey Echo, who's a friend of mine and a great songwriter.
The studio you mentioned there with Jimmy, is it the one in Westheath Yard by any chance? It's
Yes.
just I once made a record there with Edwin Collins. It's an amazing space.
Is it? What band were you in?
I was in Frankie and the Heartstrings. So I was a front
Nice.
singer of that band. But we
Yeah.
made a record with Edwin Collins in Westheath Yard, as it was called at the time. But it's an amazing space, and it's just around the corner from the high street, so it's ideal for coffees and Dave's Deli on the corner.
Totally, man. Yeah, that's funny. I totally, maybe we played together back in the day. I definitely know of your band, and
Yeah.
man, yeah. And Edwin's artwork is up in the studio there, and Jimmy really honors Edwin's spirit, I think, in the art that he makes and the way he has kind of designed it.
Yeah. It's an amazing space. Yeah, you've also been doing some co-writes as well with people. You seem to have been a bit of a go-to guy these days. How does that feel?
Man, it's really nice. I love writing with other people, and I'm really grateful for the artists that that I've come across and friends of mine. But I'll say this, man, I say it to everyone, I suck at writing a song for someone. I'm good at writing with people. True, I'm not just saying that. I remember Rita Ora's A&R once called me up. She's a lovely lady. She was like, "We need a song for Monday." And I was like, I don't know. I tried and failed, but when I'm in with Holly or Matty or Nick Mulvey or CMAT or these amazing artists, and they writing in front of me, sometimes my job is just to bounce off them, but I'm very, very great. I love songs, man. I've always loved songs. And it took me so long for the height of my horse to get lowered to the place where I could be useful. Okay. And dude, I write a lot of bad songs. I really do. I've got a Dropbox of 1,000 songs or something, and 1 in 10 might be just about passable, so I've got to suck to land on one sometimes.
Yeah, but it's also good, isn't it, to have that in the vaults, if you like, because you never know when you might think back and think, I'm sure I recorded something which would work here, and then you have to go back through the vault and find it. Yeah,
totally. That happens all the time with my manager will be like, "Oh man, I don't know, we've got a K-pop band or something that looking for." It's so rare for people. You are right, but as we both know, as artists, to really take a song, to take a song that's fully written is, I think, pretty rare. Frank Sinatra didn't, I guess, but he knew what he was. You know, he was an entertainer, right? And like, but it's kind of rarer these days with, I don't know, with the way people record and stuff, for someone to take a song. So for me, the magic is in an artist coming over, like Katie Gregson McLeod's coming over on Thursday, Friday. We'll sit on the sofa, have a cup of tea, get out the acoustics, and see if we land. You know.
Yeah, that's nice. And she's great. We've been playing her singles recently as
Oh,
well. I think she's a
I love
megastar
it.
in the waiting. Yeah, she's so good. But you're right there, sitting down with someone, finding out what kind of person they are. It kind of takes you back to when you first started bands and stuff at school and things like that, where you're just hanging out with your friends, hanging out with someone, getting the cut
Dude,
of the jib, and then you just create, don't you? And that's the most organic way to do it. Better than doing it just over the internet, isn't it?
dude, I totally agree. And I think that thing about being in a band at school and what you're saying of like, that's what I'm always trying to get back to. I think the risk for us songwriters is that we've got too good, in inverted, whatever they're called, about writing songs. Do you know what I mean? I mean, how many, it's like we've learned too much. I've got to like unlearn all that craft and nonsense so I can just be flowing. And man, I swear to God, so many of the songs that I've been lucky enough to have a little hand in were always on the first day with an artist. C-Mac Tune, a Holly Tune, all artists that I love and look up to. But like the first day, when you're just like, right, let's have a cough, just da 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 da, not overthinking it. Pale Waves I'm working with, same with them at the moment. Yeah, it's like we landed on something on the first day, and we're just trying to like intellect. Yeah. I think if I'm going from my head and before my heart in songwriting, I'm kind of, I don't know, man. I don't judge. I've got friends who are great at, they do pop camps and there's like 8 people in the room. They're crafting this perfect. I don't think I'm better than that. I'm just not good at it. I'm an emo at heart. Do you know what I mean? Like, I grew up listening to like Little Comets and like This Et Al and like all that scene that I'm sure we're probably both personal friends with, it's like, that's what the Leeds, Brudenell scene, you know what I mean? Like that's where, for me, that's where like the magic is.
Yeah, absolutely. You touched upon some really great things there. And go back to the album as well. The album seems to go back to basics as well, Ben, from what I've heard. And it's quite subtle in terms of its instrumentation. Was that a conscious thing? Were you influenced by something, or was it an aesthetic you were trying to get to? Because from the tracks I've heard so far, there's obviously the trademark guitar on there as well, but piano and subtle strings and a certain atmosphere. Is that what we're going to get from the full record?
Totally, man. In answer to your question, my favorite band are a band called the Blue Nile, and Paul Buchanan did a solo record called
Midair. Beautiful record.
Man. Dude. Yeah. I watched About Time over Christmas, and one of his songs is on there, and it's just brutal. I mean, it's a bloodbath of a song, man. And so me and Jimmy from the off were like, let's reference at least the spirit of Midair. And it got a bit heavier as we were going because of the quality of some of the piano players. I was working with John Green and Jamie Squire, who in my opinion are just the best, some of the best maybe in the world. But we did resist putting drums on. We tried, there was 1 or 2 where we tried, but bar like a kick, a little sub thing occasionally, we resisted. And I just wanted the songs to breathe, and I wanted it to come on and the vocal to live above it and just like grab someone in the heart through their chest,
No, I mean, that record kills me every single time I hear it. It's absolutely immaculate, isn't it? I mean, the piano and his voice is, I mean, the stuff in Blue Nile was amazing, but that solo record, it's a record if you know it, like you do, obviously, you just know it's like top 5 of all time. And you can't explain it until you sit someone down and they've got to be in the right frame of mind. You can't just put it on. And when you've got to dedicate yourself a little bit to it. It's perfect if you're going on like a solo walk or you're by
100%.
yourself. It's what a record that is.
Man, me and all my like crew and friends and everyone, we're just obsessed with the guy. We have a healthy respect and boundary, obviously, but like the cars are in the garden now. Last Out the Newsroom. I mean, it's just shocking, that album. It's so beautiful, and I love, like, I don't know about you, man, but so many times through this silly career that I've been lucky enough to have, I've tried to play the what will people think game or the radio. And every time I've done that, I've failed. But whenever I've gone from the heart, just like, what do I really want to do? Where is my bread buttered? That's when I seem to be able to like connect,
Yeah, absolutely. You got me thinking about the Blue Nile more there. And I found out something recently, but you know that when they made the records like hats and stuff like that, like Lynn, the drum machine people would like test out equipment on them, and that's how the records sound so unique. Because sometimes they were just prototype machines, and they were just like, right, can you use this? Oh, we'll give it a go, kind of thing. Incredible.
Yeah, that's true. Have you read the book In Search of the Blue Nile?
No, I haven't. What is
Hey,
this?
it's the book that, like, I don't know who wrote it, but it's all that stuff. And there's I highly recommend it, man. Yeah, please write
I'm
it
writing it
down.
down. I'm
It,
writing it down
it
now.
covers all that, and there's like stories of like because like we people who know it, like in the music, we all like we obsess over Paul Buchanan, you know, the Blue Nile,
Yeah.
but there's story CEOs of labels do it, and there's like stories of like big like multi, you know, serious like big shot, you know, A&Rs and stuff like flying him over to the Caribbean to like hang out in their house and stuff. And he's like above it. He might even, who knows if he'll ever listen to this. And if he is, I don't want to say anything, but I love the guy so much. His music inspires me. And I love the willingness not to release music for ages as well. You know, I think that is cool. It's scary, but it's cool because me and all my, you know, I don't know many people in the artists of my genre who I'm around and friends with who truly love everything they've ever put out. I don't even know if Paul Buchanan, but there's something about the legend of it, like only releasing when the heart is switched on. At least as a fan, that's how I interpret it. That I think is very sexy and cool.
Yeah, it's an incredible artist, isn't it? Let's speak about you again, and move the conversation on a little bit. Do you find as you get a little bit older, Ben, as I do, that you've got to mine a bit deeper to get excited and to find inspiration in current music, or are you still quite turned on from what you can hear on radio? And obviously, you work with lots of amazing creative people. That must also excite you. But do you dip into like TikTok and things like that? And do you see why people are number one or trending and things like that?
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm not like the, you know, the 18-year-old kid that I used to be like listening to like Six Music and Radio One every day and listening to shows. And on the also this atmosphere has changed. You know, there was a time probably when we were doing like peaking, you know, where it's like the blogs were everything. You know what I mean? It's just like this push
Well,
and
the
pull.
enemy was a written thing. You know, you go and shop and buy
Oh,
it. Yeah,
totally. An enemy could make or break people
yeah,
overnight. And so I listen to what I love, but my heart, thanks to God, you know, the height of my horse has come down. So like I can listen to like, what's an example? A Justin Bieber record and be like, man, that song is so sick. I love that, you know? And the TikTok thing, I think again, my horse was high for a little while, but like, dude, when Katie Gregson, my sweet friend, dropped Complex on TikTok, and then it came out, I think that's when everyone was like, hang on a second here, you know, like it's possible to release like top quality songs, maybe one of the best ballads of all time, and it still be like credible and cool, you know? So honestly, man, if I was releasing music as a debut artist right now, I would be all over TikTok. I'm not saying I'd be successful, but I'd be using it in the way that I used MySpace back in the day, you
yeah.
know? Like, so I definitely get turned on by new music, but I don't love it all. And I don't pretend to love stuff as well. I used to pretend to love stuff. Because that time, you know, that NME time, it was like, oh, what's cool? This crit, you know, now, it's funny, in an interview just now, someone asked me what I'm listening to. I'm like, Frank Sinatra, Edith Piaf, Lucio Dalla, Jay Huss, you know, like just stuff that's just like intense and like messes me up. But I listen to Bat for Lashes a lot. I'm listening to her again. I just love her, you know? It's like,
Yeah. Yeah,
whatever.
and I know exactly what you mean. I think you just get to an age, don't you? An age of acceptance. You think, well, yeah, I'm going to be just true to who I am and just say, this is what I'm listening to. And, you know, ultimately people will hear that in your music eventually as well. It all makes sense, doesn't it? You know, and I think that helps as well. I think you've got a good position on it as well because of where you're from, where you've traveled, where you've been, you know, the way your career's gone. You seem quite grounded, and Dirty Hit seems to have kept you that way as well.
Totally, man. You know, I'm here now, and I love Dirty Hits. Being one, I just love him, and I've known Jamie since I was walking around Fibbers, right back in
Yep.
the day. I met Jamie in Fibbers, in the old Fibbers that you would probably when like
Yeah,
the
played it.
stage
Yeah. The
you
horrible
saw,
long
you know,
stage. Yeah.
totally, yeah. When the stage was at the original end,
Yeah.
um, and I think where I'm from helps as well. But like, I don't know if it's a Yorkshire thing or a Northern thing, but there's kind of I can't swear on the radio, obviously, but there's kind of an energy of just like calm down, get on with it, and put out the tunes and just crack on. Do you know what I mean? No one cares what celebrities I know when I go home. Do you know, they always don't want to hear. Then it's like, are you cool to hang out with? Do you know what I mean? What happened at the football on Saturday? And I like that. It keeps me like, I'm grateful to have gone to London, you know, ended up in London as a nervous guest that doesn't plan to stay, rather than, do you know what I mean? I don't want to say the wrong thing, but
No, I think you're saying exactly the right things, Ben. Don't worry about it. You know, I think
I went to Saltburn the other day by Yarm with my friend.
yeah,
And I
on the
went
seat. Yeah.
yeah, and I was like free. You know, I ate fish and chips in the rain. I was like, that made me feel so. I loved it, you know. And I'm going up to Elland Road on the weekend. I don't want to offend anyone. I'm a Leeds fan, you know, but like I love going up there, you know, and just like getting stuck in and you know, champion. I feel like I'm in the Championship as a songwriter, and I'd rather be there than the Prem. You
Hey, there's some big clubs in the Championship. There's some big guys in the Championship.
This is what I'm saying. I don't have that, you know, that city money, but I'm like, it's a good life, you know.
It's real. It's real, Ben. That's what it is. It's real in the Championship.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Real football. I know all about that, being a Sunderland fan. You've also announced a special gig on the 9th at St. John's Church, and that's going to be a special performance of the record, is it?
Man, I think it's going to be an intimate, well, it's definitely going to be an intimate acoustic performance. And I'll play some songs off the new record. And I think I'll play one or two old ones as well. The thing with the new record is there's a lot of piano on it. So like the main tour I'm going to do in April, and then hopefully extended further around the world in the back of the year, I'll have like my brother Jamie Squire with me on keys. So some of the songs I'll probably save till that. But songs like New York, Oh My God, Please, from my last album, Don't Give Up on Light from this album, Breaking the Weather from this album, a song called Spokane, Washington, that's a really savage song on this album, I'll probably play, you know. But man, when I do shows, I just like feel it out, you know. I'll rehearse a few days before and be like, what feels good on my heart to play? And I think people just like, I hope, just like coming and listening to a couple of songs, a couple of new ones, a couple of old ones, maybe some chat, you know. And yeah.
Oh man, it sounds great what we've heard so far, and I'm sure you're looking forward to the dates as much as everyone listening to this conversation as well.